Salutations, all you spectators of the spacey out there, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye, where we're uncovering the conspiracy fact the government doesn't want you to know about. As always, I'm your host, Alexander Sorkin, and this week it's finally happened, ladies, gents, and reptilians. After what seems like ages, and missing their original deadline by over 3 weeks, we finally have a copy of the UAP Task Force's report to Congress in public hands. Can you believe it? The government finally got off its ass and did something productive for once. Well, maybe productive isn't quite the right word. The report stands at a whopping 9 pages, including title, with a large portion of it either being definitions, descriptions of the report itself and what it's trying to do, or legalese, which, at the end of the day, isn't the worst thing it could be. Really, it means they're taking this thing seriously. It's an official government document. I just wish it was longer. But I know why you're all here. You want the conclusion of the report. In simple terms, it boils down to, we don't know. It's not us, we don't think it's our enemies, and if it is, we're really outclassed, so we hope not. Beyond that, it's anybody's guess. But that's not to say it's all a wash. The report does one thing, first and foremost, to me at least, and that is hammering across the point that we need to look into this stuff further. It's happening, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's crazy or not, it's happening. But let's take a step back and actually go through some of the contents of the report, shall we? First things first, the purpose of the report is to provide an overview for policymakers of the challenges associated with characterizing the potential threat posed by UAP, while also providing a means to develop relevant processes, policies, technologies, and training for the US military and other government personnel. Which might not sound like much, but as one of the first lines in the report, they're saying, we're going to make a way to officially look into this and keep records. That's a pretty big step in the right direction. They also make mention of the fact that all of the information in the report is limited in scope from between November 2004 up until March of 2001, which is a very short time when you consider how long we've been experiencing these things. The majority of incidents they looked at were captured by the US Navy, as they were the only ones to really have a collection of data on the subject. In November, however, the Air Force began a pilot project starting to collect their own data, and the effort is being made by the UAPTF to create a standardized reporting system across all of the US military. All in all, the UAP task force looked at 144 unidentified aerial phenomenon, and out of those 144, only one was found to be, more likely than not, a punctured balloon falling to the ground. To add to that, 80 of these reports were backed up by multiple sensors indicating that they were in fact physical objects of some nature. 18 of these incidents reported also had unusual movement patterns of flight characteristics. While collecting the data for this report, the UAP task force regularly heard other anecdotes as well of sightings that occurred. Sadly, none of these observations or incidents were included in the report, because of course they're not. Did we really expect the government to do that much for us? Even so, the task force will continue to collect data and work towards a standard way of reporting UAP events across the military. I just hope we hear more soon. One portion of the report I would like to draw your attention to is a line on page 6, talking about how the UAP task force will be going about analyzing their collected data. The initial focus will be to employ artificial intelligence, machine learning algorithms to cluster and recognize similarities and patterns in features of the data points. I can't be the only one who sees this as a bad idea, right? Just imagine Terminator meets Independence Day in the real world. It's a shame the report wasn't more revealing, but at the same time I didn't expect much different. And once again, it wasn't a total letdown. The UAP task force seems to have a solid idea of how to move forward and investigate UAPs further, while also helping to break the stigma associated with these sorts of things. There's still a lot to be done, but it's a step in the right direction. But that's all the time we have for this week's folks. If you've been enjoying this content, be sure to check out the Keep Times Patreon and support our ongoing efforts for disclosure, as well as check out some of the other stuff we put out online. And remember, there's more than meets the eye.